morning. I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Conneaut Area City Schools, February 18th meeting to order. Mrs. Miranda, are you ready to call the order?
Yes, sir, I am.
Thank you.
Mrs. Armini. Here. Mr. Breck.
Here.
Mr. Poltman.
Here.
Mr. Nesbitt.
Present.
Mrs. Norton. Yes.
If we could all stand and pledge the allegiance to the flag behind us. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated. Are there any agenda modifications?
No, we have not.
At this time, we're going to move into our presentations for the, I'm going to kind of combine the January and February. That way I only have to read things once.
The script once.
Thought I had everything all. There it is. Okay. The Conneaut Area Chamber of Commerce exists to promote economic, civic, and social improvement while highlighting all that makes the city of Conneaut and surrounding areas a great place to live, work, and play. The Chamber's goals go hand in hand with our district mission statement to inspire, educate, and prepare our students and staff to achieve excellence in every endeavor they pursue. We are proud to have the Chamber recognize a student who works to achieve excellence, making their classroom, their building, and their community a better place to live. This time, do I turn things over to our Chamber? Is that how it works?
Yes,
We got to
switch
pick your hat.
hats,
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'm here both as superintendent and president of the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber, in conjunction with Great Wave Communications, sponsors an award each month to recognize an elementary student for their leadership and academic record. This student believes in the goals of Gateway Elementary School, striving for academic excellence, demonstrating respect, responsibility, and serving as a positive role model in the building. Now, since we had a Calamity Day in January, we're not going to combine these because we want to give each student their due time. So first, we would like to ask Mr. Speck to come up, along with his student, Lillian. Would you like to introduce your student and tell us why they were nominated?
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
This is Lillian Palamden, and go ahead and look at that. This is school board, all right? So Lily, as we call her, Lily P in the classroom because there are two Lilies. She's an amazing student. She's brave. She works really hard. Extremely kind and caring about the students around her. Really concerns herself with the well-being of others. And for that reason alone, she definitely has earned this award. So I present Lillian Plumondon. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't go away, Lily.
Yeah, where are you going?
Lily, stay right there. Who did you bring with you today? Who do you have with you in the audience? So thank you for supporting her.
Thank you.
So on behalf of Great Wave Communication and the Conneaut Chamber of Commerce, we want to present to you this award. And when we're done with both awards, the board's going to get up and shake everybody's hands, okay? So if you and Mr. Speck just want to stand over here, we'll get some pictures when we're done. Congratulations.
First of its own.
And now for February, we have Mrs. Carrie Lebzeltzer and her student Grayson. Hello.
Grayson's taller.
Yeah, I have heels on. But no, this is Grayson Radicek, and I have my paper because I get nervous. So, but congratulations, sir. You got it. Grayson is a student who meets every aspect of the criteria for Student of the Month. He's hardworking, diligent, responsible, conscientious, and he's kind to others. He shows up every day focused and ready to learn. He's engaged in our lessons. He's asking questions and participating. He collaborates well with other students. And he brings an enthusiasm to our classroom. And not only with the academics, but with his outside interests as well. He's a big Pittsburgh Steelers and Pirates fan and loves to talk sports and stats with his friends. And Grayson is also active in youth football and participates on 2 travel basketball teams and plays CLYO baseball. And he's shown himself to be an all-around model student with his strong work ethic and persistence. And it's a pleasure to honor him with the Student of the Month award. So congratulations.
So Grayson, on behalf of the Conneaut Area Chamber of Commerce and Great Wave Communication, and from a fellow Pittsburgh Steeler fan, I want to congratulate you on receiving this award. And now, who did you bring with you today?
I brought my mother, Erin, my great-grandma, Billy, and my aunt, Jessie.
Well, thank you all for being here. Thank you. If you'd like to come and see the family, and then we'll get some pictures.
Congratulations.
Most of them are.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Russell. Thank you. I don't have to.
All right, more fun things here. We got Power of the Pen. Mrs. Furtick. We need to make an agenda modification there, so it's only been a couple of years, so.
Oh, geez. That's right. So I received some good news from Mrs. Furtick regarding the Power of the Pen. We appreciate the board supporting the club, and some students are making some big gains. So I thought Mr. Kennedy and Mrs. Furtick could come up and give you an update on what's happening.
I'm just going to say one thing because I've spoken to you. So I want to introduce Mrs. Furtick. I've told the board how proud I am of the Power of the Pen group, and it would not be anything without Mrs. Furtick and her coming to me about 2 or 3 years ago saying I would really like to bring this to our building, and with board support and then through scheduling we did get it as a class and elective that she teaches. So I'll turn it over to Mrs. Furtick.
All right, I've been here before, so I think most of you are familiar with Power of the Pen, but in case you're not, it's a creative writing competition unique to Ohio, so just 7th and 8th graders. And I got an email from one of my old Power of the Pen students who's at the high school now, and she emailed me this year and she said, Mrs. Furtick, how do we get Power of the Pen at the high school? I miss it so much, and I had to give her the bad news that it's not available for high school students, but I did encourage her to possibly do a club or something to keep writing, and also let her know about like the Young Writers organization for competitions and things like that. So we have a lot of kids who are interested in Power of the Pen and creative writing. It's not something that we do every day in writing class. We're really academic writing, focused, and so this is a nice release for them to do the story writing and the more narrative type writing. Like Mr. Kennedy said, he was gracious enough to make it a class, so it is an elective at the middle school. Kids can choose to sign up for it, and it has increased our number of kids involved because before it had to be after school, and so a lot of kids have issues and sports and things like that. So now that it's part of our school day, we're up to we had 17 kids in the class this year, and then we had 4 students on top of that who wanted to be part of class but had algebra at the same time, and so we couldn't take away from algebra as much as I was like, it'll be okay. But they chose to join our Google Classroom, and they did all of their writing outside of class, but still submitted it for feedback and things like that. So it worked out. In fact, some of our qualifiers, 3 of them, who we just had a regional competition, districts competition, January 31st at Kenston Middle School. There were 198 7th and 8th grade writers there, and we took 2 teams of 6, so we had 12 kids there. And we had Kayla Colby, who I'll introduce to you in just a second, who is our 7th grader. She was the number 5 out of all of the 7th grade riders. She got 5th place. And then Ava Hyde, who's an 8th grader, she was 4th place out of all the 8th graders there, which was incredible. Ava couldn't be here today, and Bronwyn Phil came. She is another 7th grader who chose to write outside of class. She's an algebra student, so and she did all of her work outside, and she also qualified for regionals, which will be in 2 weeks on February 28th at Hudson Middle School. So we've been doing this for a while. He said 3 years. It's actually been 6.
It all works.
So 6 years every year. We've taken kids to districts, from districts to regionals every year, and we've had 2 kids make it to states. So which might happen again this year. We had some really high scorers, so we'll see how it turns out. But I wanted you to hear from them a little bit. So Kayla and Bronwyn, if you want to come up. I told them, I said, I don't know what they're going to want to know, maybe how they became interested in it and what the tournament was like for them or what their favorite things were, but feel free to ask them questions. All you.
What did you write about?
We did a couple different prompts. So for the writers, there were 3 prompts and 3 rounds. The first one was like, "Are you there yet?" And you had to write about like a car trip to vacation. And then we did, I think it was called Locked In, and you had to write about being like locked in something. And then we did, you had to use middle in your title. So I did like Stuck in the Middle, and it was like a group of friends, like a trio.
What one was your favorite?
My favorite was personally the Locked In prompt because I wrote it and I got best in round. And I wrote it about like something that I personally like a lot, and it was with my horses. So, and then, yeah, I ended up getting a 99 on it.
Wow. And you liked it, it probably was a lot easier. That's great.
And so you get these prompts cold, and then you have how much time to write? Is it the same amount of time for each one?
Yes, it is 40 minutes.
40 minutes. So they have no preparation ahead of time. They get a prompt and they have 40 minutes to write.
How long of a essay do you have to write?
There's no given amount, it's just however much you can write. And yeah.
Were you able to get a conclusion every time to make it like a complete
Yeah.
story in the 40 minutes?
What's your approach then? If you do like 5 paragraphs, and that way you can, or
I just like take my imagination. I just go through with it. I usually don't do the first thing that comes to mind. I take a little bit of time and like I think of what like I can write about, and then I take what I'm most like passionate about to be able to write my best.
And do either one of you, for future plans, is writing in the future? Is that something that you are aspiring to do?
I want to be a lawyer, so.
We got one of those back there.
Yeah. You know what I think is interesting? My one granddaughter really likes to write too, and she has an idea. She wants to be a forensic person, whatever. But I told her, I said, when you get ideas, like you girls, if you have good ideas, you can start writing them down. You can do that as a side project, under a pseudonym or something. It would be kind of fun just if you enjoy it that much, to just keep it up as a pastime, if not, your career. Do you also like to read?
Yeah, I really do enjoy reading a lot.
Do you like to read?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There's a correlation there, but,
And I'm sure it supports their writing because it's different than essay writing because it's all narratives, all stories. So they do look for fan fiction though. A lot of kids will base things off of things that they've read, so they will disqualify fan fiction. So it really does have to be original. So the judges have to have a good knowledge of what's hot in the reading world to know whether this is too similar or not.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, thank you for having us.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good luck at reading.
And we have one more presentation for the Tim Flannery Horizon Award that they'll be presented to Mr. Passanen.
So I received an email last week that I felt was too important to not just pass on to you, but to publicly announce. So I asked Tony if he could show up. Last night I asked Tony if he could show up at the board meeting today. So the email that I received said each year, the Executive Committee of the NEOIAAA, Northeast Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association, honors various athletic administrators and other professionals who have contributed outstanding service to interscholastic athletics in Northeast Ohio. The recipients of the award are nominated by association members, and honorees are selected by the awards committee made up of NEOIAAA Executive Committee members. I would like to congratulate Tony Passanen on being selected to receive the NEOIAAA Tim Flannery Horizon Award, which is presented to an active athletic administrator who shows professionalism and involvement in the profession and who makes a difference in his school district and/or league. And considering it's Mr. Passanen's second year on the job and all that he has done, both for not only our student athletes, but also for our Conneaut community and growing the Spark program and getting that back up and running, I think it's very fitting. He was one of 4 award winners. So if you would like to come up, we would just like to give you an applause, and then while you're here, so if we could congratulate Mr. Passanen. There's a formal banquet where he will be getting the award, but I think it's just a true testament of how much work you've put in to your career just these first 2 years. So it was a well-chosen award, and that's why I didn't respond to it until I could bring you up.
Originally, I thought one of my friends was pranking me, so I didn't, I was a little, but no, honestly, it's easy when we've got such a supportive team in Conneaut, because it's, I mean, anybody involved knows it starts, with superintendent, the school board, and then our building administrators, the coaches, and just the community in general. We're extremely supportive, or lucky to have such a supportive group, so it makes my job a lot easier.
We appreciate the passion that you have, and it probably doesn't seem like you're coming to work outside the nights when you leave at 9, 10, 11 o'clock. But it hasn't gone unnoticed, so thank you.
Well, thanks, guys.
So thank you.
All right, thank you.
At this time, I would like to ask for a motion.
Not yet.
Sorry.
Do the calendar.
Oh, I missed that. Okay, I wasn't looking at that. Okay, very good. All right. So, public participation. Are there any delegation or visitors?
We have none.
Okay. Is there any correspondence?
I have none.
The 2026-2027 calendar.
So the rough draft of the calendar is in your packet. There's some extra pieces along the wall, and it's out with CEA for review, so they can take a look at it as well. As the person who has to create the calendar and as the people who vote on the calendar, I always think it's good to have people who have to work the calendar look at the calendar. So it's going through a review for CEA right now before we bring it to you again for a final review. It's pretty much our standard calendar. What we did this year, though, was reduce the number of days at the beginning of the year of teacher days by 1, which increases our student days. So the staff will start August 20th and 21st. Most likely the 20th will be convocation day, and then August 24th and 25th will continue with open houses and professional development, and then August 26th will be the first student day. We're working on a new policy. It's not in your packet yet, but the state of Ohio changed requirements for kindergarten, that the kindergarten cutoff date, right now it's August 1st. Schools can set it arbitrarily between August 1st and September 30th. Now your kindergarten cutoff date will be the date that student instruction starts for kindergarten. So there will be a new policy coming for review. So in other words, you have to turn, now in our district, you have to turn 5 by August 1st for kindergarten, or you have to ask for early entrance. So if we start kindergarten on August 26th, you'll have to turn 5 by August 26th. So that'll be the change when that policy comes through. September is our Labor Day start. Law for Labor Day. Then we have NEOEA Day on October 9th, and the end of the first quarter would be October 30th. I tried to balance the quarters as much as I could between 44, 45 days. Our Thanksgiving break is in there from November 25th through November 30th. 2 weeks at Christmas, and then Martin Luther King Day, January 1st, or I'm sorry, New Year's Day, January 1st, Martin Luther King Day, January 18th, and then the quarter would end on January 19th, so no school for students again. Historically, if you look at which date is colder, the 15th or the 19th, it would be the 19th. So we could still have school that day. We wouldn't have to worry about it being too cold. So that's why we went with the 19th. President's Day on the 15th of February, March 25th being the end of the third quarter, and then 26th actually being Good Friday, so spring break would be the following week, March 29th through April 2nd. So it actually says April 4th, which is that Sunday. Then May 31st, Memorial Day, last student day, June 3rd, last staff day, June 4th. So any revisions from staff that I get, including conferences, will be presented to you at the next meeting.
So the dates for conferences haven't been picked?
No, we're discussing those with
Okay.
the staff to see what we think works best.
June 5th for graduation then?
We don't have that set. It could be after, because then it would be Memorial Day weekend. But we'll have, Mrs. Answerwitz and I will have a date before the next calendar. Because typically it would be the 29th, because it's before the end of the school year.
Yeah, normally it's the last.
May
Saturday.
29th would be Saturday before.
So, first thing, I'd like
Yep.
to point out that it sounds like this year the Super Bowl will land on the day before President's Day.
Oh, perfect.
So
You get your wish.
I get my wish finally. And secondly, in the bottom right corner, what's the maximum of 3 calamity days?
Maximum of 3 calamity days may be used as remote day, learning days, so that's not.
That got cut off,
Yeah,
so I
I
wasn't
see
sure
that.
what
It's
that
on
meant.
that, but it'll be fixed for that.
Okay.
Like we did that one remote day when we knew it was gonna be cold, that counted as a,
Yeah, no, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
It just, when it cut off in May, I didn't quite understand what that
yeah,
meant.
I see it here, the box, and
Okay. Thank you.
now.
We had talked about this at ATEC on Monday, and Jefferson was the lone district to not match spring breaks at this point anyways.
Yeah, they're meeting tomorrow to review, so we all had that same day in, that week in mind. I don't know quite what happened. So.
Do you know what Kent is this year?
Everybody moved theirs up, so it's mid-March.
It's fine.
Yeah. So I'll have some feedback from them to know what the other districts are doing.
Easter's early.
Easter is
Next
early,
year.
yeah.
So we can go.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So at this time, I would ask for a motion 02-2026-01 that the board move to executive session to discuss matters required to be kept confidential by federal law or regulations or state statutes.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
Mr. Nesbit?
Yes.
Mr. Breck?
Yes.
Mr. Holman?
Yes.
We're gonna, would
We'll
be
be
a
back.
half hour.
I don't even think it'll.
Oh,
Dave, 15 minutes? 15 minutes? 5 minutes.
okay. All right, so we'll just,
We'll
what's
just
up?
go in here.
We're going to go in.
Are we going into that room? Okay.
We'll be right back.
All right. All right.
Tom Renoff.
So, yeah, I want to make sure I have my, okay. So 10:41, coming out of executive session. This time, we're going to do committee reports. Mr. Coltman, do you have a legislative report for us?
I'm going to defer that to Lori and to Jackie because I know there's a lot of moving parts and there's still more things. I'm going to let Jackie give you she'll cover it in finance.
Sure. Okay, very good. A-Tech report, no report at this time. Athletic Council, Spark, Mr. Brett?
Just very briefly, I attended the Zoning Board of Appeals last night. There was one setback requirement that we had to ask for a variance on the distance from the street of the new locker room. Code is 40 feet. We needed to be at about 25 feet. That was approved. I'll be heading to Planning Commission tomorrow night for them to approve the project, hopefully approve the project. And then next Friday will be an athletic council meeting in the morning. That's my report.
Thank you. This is our meeting, Student Achievement Report.
Yes, I have a report from Carrie. Sully Krieger, a fourth grade student in Stephanie Mishka's class, won the Ashtabula County Spelling Bee. He will advance to the Regional 5 Area Spelling Bee in Painesville on March 6th. Congratulations to Sully. Career and Reality Day was held at Conneaut Middle School on February 6th. We had several community members and high school students volunteer to make this day a success. The Power of the Pen team competed at the Lake Erie District Tournament on January 31st. Kayla Colby, a 7th grade student, earned 5th place. Ava Hyde, an 8th grade student, earned 4th place in the respective grade levels. There were over 198 writers representing 21 schools. Ava, and Hazel, Marie, and Kayla, Bronwyn, Phil, Annalise Curtis, and Kelly Benson all advanced to the regional competition, which will take place on February 28th. Our winter diagnostic testing in math and reading is completed. Our kindergarten through 8th grade students are showing a significant growth in both areas. The high school's Quiz Bowl team has been competing at the county and CBC competitions. Their last competition will be March 14th. The theater department's production of Little Shop of Horrors opens on March 20th. Some of the state's spring testing has started, and the results will not be available until mid-May. And that's my report. When did you
Thank
say
you.
the play was?
City
March
Council
20th.
report, Mrs. Norton?
Okay. I have the nomination for Spartan of the Month for February. It's James Fadley. He's an 11th grade student at Conneaut High School, and he was already honored at City Council on Monday, February 9th.
Thank you. Board President report, just letting you know that the Lions Club would like to meet with the superintendent and present drawings to potentially establish a structure off of the Lakeshore parking lot for safety town storage and moving from Cabrini Hall. So we do have those and kind of maybe start working through what those things look like. So I have drawings and shirts ready for you.
I'll ask Mr. Dalton to join us.
Pardon?
I'll ask Mr. Dalton.
Okay,
to join us.
yeah.
Oh, we didn't set up the tables like you asked.
Pardon?
The
That's
tables.
okay, yeah. All right, thank you. We'll move on to superintendent's report.
I forwarded you this morning from the Ashtabula County ESC. They're going to do that board member training again. It's just to save the date right now, so they'll send you information to sign up for that. Just a reminder, the Chamber of Commerce dinner is next Tuesday. I am very proud to announce that our National Honor Society was named the inaugural Community Impact Award winner. This award recognizes a business, nonprofit, or organization or individual whose actions have made a meaningful and lasting difference in the community, honoring those who go above and beyond to improve the social, cultural, or economic well-being of the city through service, generosity, and collaboration. The Conneaut National Honor Society has been named the inaugural recipient of the Conneaut Area Chamber of Commerce Community Impact Award, recognizing its contributions to the Conneaut community. NHS is an organization for high-achieving 11th and 12th grade students that recognizes excellence beyond the honor roll. Founded in 1921, NHS is built on 4 pillars: scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Students are selected through an application process that includes an essay, faculty recommendation. Membership is based not only on academics, but also on demonstrated integrity, initiative, service to others, and leadership. Their largest undertaking was organizing National Night Out, a nationwide annual community building event held on the first Tuesday in August that promotes police-community partnerships and neighborhood connections to make communities safer and more welcoming. Because the event took place before the start of the school year, planning was carried out by senior NHS members. Despite their small numbers, they successfully brought the Conneaut community together on August 5th through partnerships with numerous local and volunteers, each of which received the event's donations. What began as recognition that service could be stronger has resulted in a year of meaningful, visible impact. The Conneaut National Honor Society did more than notice a need. They stepped forward and made a difference, truly standing out in the community they serve. And what I wrote to send in for that was much longer, so they had to cut it down. When I interviewed Abby Brecht and Corinne Johnson, and that's what they told me, that there are 4 pillars, and 3 of those pillars you kind of get on your own, but service was something they could do together as a club. And they noticed as juniors that that was something that they fell short on. And so they have really increased in the list of organizations they have served throughout our community this year is so long. And they do that in conjunction with youth philanthropy as well. So about half of their members are also on youth philanthropy. So there is a correlation there. And just so very proud of these students. And when you hear the students that are on NHS and the role models from our community that they emulate, I think it's very safe to say you're going to find these students coming back to our community and giving back. So as both superintendent and as board president this year of the chamber, nothing could make me happier than these students winning this award. And the fact that they were nominated by members of our community who notice the work that they're doing. And so, when I sometimes, wonder where the good is, here's where the good is. It's right here with these kids. So very, very proud of them. Also that same day, that afternoon, is my day in court for Rotary. So if anybody's interested in coming as our guests for Rotary, that's at noon, and hearing the award winners from my day in court. Winter athletics is winding down, so we're coming to the end. The boys have a tournament away and the girls are playing at home. The girls actually ended up finishing their season 11-11, and the middle school boys are hot. I think they've lost 1 game each maybe. So the future of athletics with our middle school program is on the rise. I had a very good meeting with Scott Wildega from ATEC about career planning and some things that we can do both at the middle school and high school, apply for some money that takes off payments from the general fund. So we're looking at, and Mrs. Antigus and Mr. Kennedy met with us as well, what does that look like in both buildings? What kind of creative electives can we offer? What are we already offering that we can build differently so that we're not taking away from general fund? And then how do we really beef up this athletic media team to be more of a media team that's district-wide? And then I had a conversation following city council meeting too. How can we help out the city as well? So maybe do some of their projects for them. So we're excited to see where that grows. I had Reality Day on my list. Tomorrow at the high school will be mock interviews. And we're opening that up this year to 11th and 12th graders, and then next year it'll just be for 11th graders. So we feel that starting, talking with Stacey Zappatelli, starting with 11th graders, you're getting them ready for college interviews or for work interviews. So we'd rather grab them as 11th graders than 12th graders. So that starts tomorrow. I had Sully Kruger on my list. I'd like to get him here next month, see after his competition on March 6th. I want to give a shout out to Shelley Brown. She's been organizing mobile dental clinics to visit the schools. And all 4 schools are having this, but Mrs. Brown kind of oversaw this. So Gateway alone had about 50 students signed up over 2 days. There were 4 to 5 dental people that come. There's a team lead, 2 to 3 dental assistants, and a hygienist and a dentist that will check out these 50 students. They'll get a check-in, an x-ray, a cleaning, and then a dental exam or in service, all for free. And at the conclusion of their visit, they'll get a report card, and then their parents can take that report card and follow up with any further dental service. So shout out to Mrs. Brown for doing this and then helping our students get the dental care that they need. So if we can get 200 kids with free dental care, that's amazing. There are some policies in your packet. Just want to review those briefly. Policy 2431.06, name, image, and likeness in athletics. If you remember, we spoke about this in the past. The Ohio High School Athletic Association passed an emergency referendum bylaw in November 2025, allowing high school athletes to be paid for their name, image, and likeness. This change was triggered by a case that was filed against OHSAA by challenging their prior ban on NIL. This new policy is consistent with that OHSAA bylaw. The policy should be considered for adoption, but when you talk about policy updates, now they're saying Ohio wants to try to ban that. So, here we go. We'll see what happens from that. There's a number of policies that Jackie worked on. I worked on 2. I think she worked on the rest. 3440, 4440, job-related expenses. 6423, use of district credit card. 6460, vendor relations. And 6465, affinity rewards or other discount programs. These policies have been revised or drafted to address recent Auditor of State's bulletins in response to the Ohio Ethics Commission advisory opinion, frequent flyer miles, other rewards or discount programs. The opinion overruled previously issued opinions. The opinion revised restrictions on public officials and employees personally using rewards earned during official business, provided such rewards are earned the same manner as the general public. The rewards do not impose additional costs on the public office, and the airline, hotel, vendor, etc. are not selected in order to earn the reward points for themselves. The opinion calls for the district to adopt a policy regarding personal use of these rewards. The policy can be more restrictive than the Ohio ethics law. Revisions to these policies and the new policy should be considered for adoption. I always go back to the Giant Eagle rewards card. If you use your Giant Eagle rewards card, you save money. But if you're picking things up for the district, we weren't allowed to use our Giant Eagle rewards card, so it was costing the district more money. So now they're kind of flip-flop. Do you want to say anything? They're flip-flopping.
Yeah, they are flip-flopping,
Yeah.
and it's better for the district. I mean, Giant Eagle Awards, there's a tiny award attached to it, but it's better for the district. If on a $50 purchase, because that's where the teacher lives and is able to pick that up, to save $10 on a $50 purchase is a big deal for the district, and a teacher might relegate a few dollars in awards or something, a few pennies in awards. So it really is a better solution overall.
Personal. So, we mostly use district cards to, like we have an American Express if we book hotels. So, I can't say, well, I'm a Hilton Honor, so the conference is at a Hyatt, but I want to stay at the Hilton and use my credit card and get my points. You can't do that. But the district, we book hotels for staff mostly when we go on, and we haven't been going. So you have to, you can't stay somewhere that's going to cost the district more money because you want to use your reward points. You can't have a gain to get Hilton to get a certain hotel brand and use your card and then bill back the district. So it has to be a win-win for the district. If you can save by being a Hilton reward, like a hotel chain, and save the district money, they're allowing you to do that.
Okay,
And still earn your points first.
Yes.
right,
Yes.
right,
They
okay.
were very good staff. Again,
Right.
Teachers and classified staff don't have access, they don't have board approval to use the credit card.
Right.
And so administrators and board members are able to use the card. So when a teacher goes to an event, if we're able to pay it on the front side with the American Express card without them taking it, we do that. Otherwise, the teacher usually has to pay for it themselves. And it's very rare at this point because we have not been doing any traveling for PD. But we reimburse the teacher, and if they go someplace and we get a better deal because they have a reward card, then it's a minor. The auditors have recognized that that's a minor issue now. Okay.
Policy 6220, budget preparation. This is everyone's favorite topic. This policy has been revised to delete reference to 5-year forecast and to provide more detailed options regarding cash balance reserve. Cash balance reserves have received a lot of attention in recent years. The legislator attempted to place a limit on reserves through the last biennial budget. Although efforts ultimately failed, it is recommended that districts consider adoption of a policy to support their current practice. Revisions to this policy should be considered for adoption. Policy 6320, purchasing and bidding. This policy has been revised to reflect the expansion to trigger the bidding process when the board determines to build, repair, enlarge, improve, or demolish any building or other property, the cost of which will exceed the threshold amounts specified in the Ohio Revised Code. The language was changed in House Bill 96 to expand bidding requirements to real property improvements on school grounds rather than those that occur to school buildings. The drafting note was revised to reflect the specific threshold amount for 2025. This revised policy should be adopted to maintain accurate policies. Policy 6325, procurement and federal grants and funds. This policy is revised to reflect revised threshold amounts for micro purchases not to exceed $15,000, small purchases not to exceed $350,000, and price analysis requirements thresholds $350,000 were effective October 1st. Revisions to this policy should be adopted in order to be consistent with federal regulations. And finally, that policy 6425, use of district tax exempt certificate. This new policy is offered in response to the Auditor of State Bulletin regarding reimbursement of sales tax by the district. This policy, if selected, allows for reimbursement of official employees who have made lawful expenditures on behalf of the district using their own personal credit cards or funds. The policy imposes appropriate controls and limits access to the district tax exempt certificate. This policy should be considered for adoption if the district chooses to allow for limited reimbursement of sales tax payments. So I gave those to Jackie to review. I don't know if you have anything else you want to say about any of those. This is just a first reading, so in between this month and next month, if there's comments, questions, or concerns, please let me know. And I believe that was all I have. Please review them.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mrs. Riley. Moving on to Mrs. Miranda and her treasurer's report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Let's see. Let's go with the agenda. So again, we have multiple donations, very impressive. There was a small number at the bottom. The last donation, it should say $345.12 as the function instead of $45.11. Notice that. Really, the amounts and rates are also on this agenda. We submitted to the Budget Commission. This year there was a change. The County Auditor's Office wanted us to come before the Budget Commission sometime in February to submit our tax budget and to review with them. They determined, I think early in February, that it was not going to be necessary for Conneaut to attend. There are some other school districts that did not also have to attend, so we appreciated that. When I sent the tax budget, we provided an explanation as to why we had balances that we had in certain areas, such as our 070 construction fund and our purpose of setting aside money for a bus garage. So they were content with that response and we did not have to attend that. Do you have the 5-year forecast? With the change in legislation, it's seems to always be changing. It's no longer, it was October and May, forever and ever and ever. Then it changed to November and May. And then the legislature decided that it would change to October and February. And now it's going to be, as we move in now, we're doing February now, and we will do it again in August. So it is significantly changed, the timing of it. So we'll see what that brings. I did provide you with a kind of a summary on the forecast. And I'll just kind of go over it since we're all here together. Overall, the district's in a slightly more positive financial situation than we were in October. Part of the reason for that is in October, we're working with last year's data. So when we talk about funding, it's based on what last year was. And so October's was just an approximation. So because we're working with true data from fiscal year 26, we've seen about $107,000 more in transportation funding for this year and about $63,000 in preschool funding. That helps us a bit on the bottom line. Enrollment-wise, we're still sticking with about 1,470 students. We don't anticipate any significant changes with that. That seems to be where we've at. We have lost students over the 10 years that we've been here together, but 1,470 students seems to be about where we're holding. We don't anticipate any increases in state funding-based cost. With the Fair School Funding Plan and the CUP Patterson bill, we were anticipating increases every year. Well, we're still stuck at FY22 inputs, so we're not seeing those increases, and that's impacting the school district by about $400,000 per year that we're not receiving from the state. Another issue for concern with House Bill is House Bill 186. That allows counties to offer a property tax exemption that will piggyback on the existing state homestead and owner-occupied credit. Now, those credits that homeowners and property owners receive, the state reimburses us for that. They reimburse districts for that. House Bill 186 will allow county auditors to implement that collection, but we will not be reimbursed by the state. So homeowners would get a credit if the county auditor moves forward with that. Homeowners will get an additional credit, but we won't be reimbursed for the state. So that's an additional concern. Our expenditures, we had some certified retirements, and Mrs. Riley takes inventory of the staff and moves staff around as needed. Sometimes it's, I would say the majority of the time it's based on staff interest, and but it's always in what's best for students. So that provides us for a little bit of relief because we're not filling all of those retirements. We do need to focus on determining what the must-haves are versus the nice-to-haves in the next several years in salary and benefits, whether it's certified, classified, or administration, because we are significantly negative spending. Our benefits appear they're a little bit increased for this year. We transitioned to a self-funded health insurance plan and paying our own claims in-house. And we've got a little bit set aside in case we run into issues with claims exceeding what we're putting into the fund, or if we have run-out costs from our departure from the COG. If we don't need that, then our financial picture will improve a bit. And we've got purchase service costs that are currently about $59,000 or $60,000 higher than we anticipated at this point in time. You know, again, I have to say we are in a positive financial situation, better than we forecasted in October, because again, October, you're starting the year and you're doing last year's information, and we now know more. It's not an emergency today, but we still need to continue to address negative spending this year. Negative spending next year, we're about $600,000 negative spending for 27. Then after that, in 28 is 2 million and 4 million in 29. So we cannot try to wait to turn the ship. We have to continue to be vigilant about addressing the finances and where we need to be. And there's Mr. Coltman's point earlier, the legislators keep moving and changing and continuing to attack, I feel, public education and the funding of public education, and it will hurt this school district. When we talk about the property tax reform that may come to the ballot in November, that will ultimately hurt our constituents in the community much more than the current property taxes. Property taxes are removed, they will be paying more in income taxes or sales taxes. Some sort of taxes have to support public entities, not just school districts, but all of your public entities. So it's an extreme concern. But we just have to be vigilant and prepare for what that might look like. And that's all I think I have today.
Thank you.
A little bit more exciting.
I got one more thing. Well, when she mentioned staffing, I did want to let you know, we did get the postings out for open positions for next year, try to get ahead of college graduations, and we're getting resumes fast and furious. So we're getting a lot of applicants that want to come and work here.
Great.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to recommendations for approval. I will ask for a motion to approve 2026-02, that the board approve the organizational meeting of January 9th, 2026, the board retreat of January 16th, and the regular meeting of January 28th.
So made.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll.
Mr. Brecht?
Yes.
Mr. Coltman?
Yes.
Mr. Nesbitt?
Yes.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
Ask for a motion to approve 2026-03, that the board approve the financial report as enclosed.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Coltman?
Yes.
Mr. Nesbitt?
Yes.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
Mr. Brecht?
Yes.
I will read these donations in their entirety just because we appreciate the support that the community gets. I will keep the rest of them shorter and sweeter. So I'm going to ask for a motion to approve 2026-04, that the board approve the following donation. Donation in the amount of $921 from the Eagles Club for Spark. A donation in the amount of $29.17 from the Conneaut Eagles for the Spark Fund. A donation in the amount of $500 from Rotary for the Theater Fund. A donation in the amount of $50 from Orlando Brothers Golden Dawn for the Yearbook Tattler Fund. A donation in the amount of $50 from Marcy Funeral Home for the Yearbook Tattler Fund. Donation in the amount of $100 from Greg Sweet for the Yearbook Tattler Fund. Donation in the amount of $150 from the Conneaut Moose Lodge for the Yearbook Tattler Fund. Donation in the amount of $100 from the American Legion Cowpost for the Yearbook. Donation in the amount of $200 from the Conneaut Athletic Boosters for the Junior Class Fund. A donation in the amount of $14.75 from Wholesale Imprints for the Senior Class Fund. A donation in the amount of $898.68 for Spark from employee deductions. Donation in the amount of $11,860 from the Conneaut Mat Club for boys and girls wrestling mats. And a donation in the amount of $4,774.98 from the Conneaut Mat Club for the boys and girls wrestling match. And again, that was for Fund 4512. That is going to be corrected there. So I'll go ahead and ask for a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
That's awesome.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Nesbitt?
Yes.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
Mr. Brecht?
Yes.
Mr. Coltman?
Yes.
Ask for a motion to approve 2026-05, that the board approve the 5-year financial forecast as enclosed.
So made.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
Mr. Brecht?
Yes.
Mr. Colvin?
Yes.
Mr. Nesbit?
Yes. A motion to approve 02-2026-07, that the board authorizes membership in the Ohio High School Athletic Association for the 2026-2027.
Go back up to 6.
Sorry, I checked off one, too, I apologize. So I'll ask for a motion to approve 02-2026-06, that the board approve the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorize the necessary tax levies to the county auditor as it closed.
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion on that? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
Mr. Brecht?
Yes.
Mr. Colvin?
Yes.
Mr. Nesbit?
Yes.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
And I'll ask for a motion to approve 02-2026-07, that the board authorizes membership in the Ohio High School Athletic Association for the 2026-2027 school year.
So made.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Brecht?
Yes.
Mr. Colvin?
Yes.
Mr. Nesbit?
Yes.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
Ask for a motion to approve 02-2026, that needs to be changed. So that's 02-2026-08, that the board approve the first reading of the following policies and revisions, and those are listed in the list there.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Colvin?
Yes.
Mr. Nesbit?
Yes.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
Mr. Brecht?
Yes.
Ask for a motion to approve 02-2026-09, that the board approve the first reading of the district calendar for the 2026-27 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Nesbit?
Yes.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
Mr. Brecht?
Yes.
Mr. Colvin?
Yes.
Ask for a motion to approve 02-2026-10, that the board approve the terms and provisions settlement agreements.
So made.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
Mr. Brecht?
No.
Mr. Colvin?
Yes.
Mr. Nesbit?
Yes. Ask for a motion to approve 02-2026-11, that the board approve the following club for the 26-27 school year, contingent upon interest and volunteers for girls flag football.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
Mr. Brecht?
Yes.
Mr. Colvin?
Yes.
Mr. Nesbit?
Yes.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Ask for a motion to approve 02-2026-12, that the board approve the following personnel resolutions pending proper certification and successful completion of pre-employment testing and personnel paperwork as needed in accordance with the scale adopted by the board. And that's 1201, 1202, 1203, 1204, 05, 06, and 07.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on those? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Brecht?
Yes.
Mr. Colvin?
Yes.
Mr. Nesbit?
Yes.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
This time, we'll go over a board member summary, but before we do that, I should have mentioned in my committee report as the board president, was there any further comments in regards to selecting an outfit to do our treasurer search? I was inclined to, because we had talked to OASBO, and one of their recommendations was OSBA, and that was the presentation from Ms. Morgan. But they did, there was a Northwest Ohio ESC and then a K-12 consulting group that were options. And I just want to see if I can have some further direction from the board members on that.
I felt that the woman we had talked with was recommended also. I thought that was a good choice.
Yeah, I was tending to go toward her also.
Okay, all right, so Penny and I will reach out and continue to work with them on that. Unless there's any questions or concerns from.
Didn't she agree to bring some people here?
Pardon?
Didn't she agree she was going to do a Zoom, or was she going to come
She
here?
was going to come to the
Yeah, I
very
think,
12.
yeah.
Okay.
So we'll work through those next steps then.
Late
Okay, all right,
February or
thank you.
Friday.
We'll move on to board member summary. Mrs. Norton.
Well, I really have nothing to say, except it's nice to get some warmer weather, safer weather for the kids to be able to come to school and walk and do whatever they have to do.
Thank you, Mrs. Norton. Mrs. Armini.
I don't think I have anything
Okay.
to say today. I know.
Mr. Coltman.
I shall continue the trend. Nothing to add. Thank you.
Mr.
Usually
Bright.
I'm the one with no report.
Yeah, there you go. Come on, Chris.
So, actually, just remind everybody about the chamber dinner next Tuesday. Congratulations to the National Honor Society and their award. That's it.
And in closing, I'd just take a quick moment to shout out to Kathy and Pauline on their retirement. So we do appreciate all their service to our organization. And at this time, I would ask for a motion to approve 02/2026-13 that the board adjourn this regular meeting.
So made. Second.
Any discussion? Call the
Chris
roll,
needs to be
please.
faster on this thing.
Mr. Coltman?
Yes.
Mr. Nesbit?
Yes.
Mrs. Norton?
Yes.
Mrs. Armini?
Yes.
Mr. Breck?
Chris.
Don't forget the band leaves Tuesday.
That's right.
Band leaves
The
Tuesday.
band leaves Tuesday.
All right, thank you all.
No, it was February.